My male 45, girlfriend 45 of 2 years and I have moved in together. Everything is great, and she gets along very well with my children, at least with my son. I share custody of my 2 children, male and female teens, with my ex-wife, 40. There is one problem. My girlfriend has a phobia for mice, rats, squirrels, in other words, rodents. We all know this, and people laugh about it, but it's a serious issue for my girlfriend, who can't even see a picture without hyperventilating. My daughter got a rat as a present for her recent birthday. She brought it home and my girlfriend freaked out. She left the apartment without even noticing that she didn't have shoes or a coat on. I got upset with my daughter because she knows my girlfriend's fear. I told her that she should leave her pet at her mother's house from now on, or when she comes here. My daughter got upset and started yelling that my girlfriend and I were being ridiculous. Her rat wasn't the problem, so it shouldn't have to be kept at her mom's, and my girlfriend should move out since she's the one who has the problem with the rat, not the rat with her. I told her that we are family, and family makes compromises. Now she's saying that if her rat isn't welcome, neither is she, and she's planning to stay with her mom until her rat is allowed, or my girlfriend moves out. My ex-wife called me to tell me that I'm the idiot for choosing my girlfriend. I told her she was the idiot for getting my daughter this present. Edit, my ex-wife knows about my girlfriend's phobia, of course, and I even told her that the rat couldn't come to my place before the birthday. I was surprised that my daughter got a rat. She loves dogs and cats and bigger pets. My ex-wife hates them. I thought this was an odd choice, but maybe a compromise. I didn't know that they planned to let the rat come to live with me and my girlfriend. It's not even about the phobia. It's strange, since parents always decide what pets to allow in their homes. So your ex-wife knew this before the purchase. OP, your ex, in conjunction with your daughter, got that rat specifically to mess with your girlfriend. Hence, not just the fact that no research was done to realize rats need company, but also the eventual ultimatum. Please do not give in. Find a way to nip it in the bud now with your daughter. Her mother is using and manipulating her. You are not the idiot. That's an intentional move from your ex, and possibly your daughter too. Your ex planned this, and she probably wants to push your girlfriend out. You should consider getting your daughter something that your ex hates or fears at some point in time. If your daughter refuses to come over without her rat, so be it. Let her know she's welcome anytime without it. Don't let them come between you and your girlfriend. Your ex and daughter are being shady as heck. However, in your daughter's eyes, logical or not, you've chosen your girlfriend over her, not the rat. If I were in your shoes, I would suggest that your girlfriend seek therapy for her phobia and present this to your daughter. She can't bring the rat, but you and your girlfriend understand how important the animal is to her and are taking steps that foster a comfortable space for everyone. It doesn't matter if she never gets over her fear enough to let a rat in her house. I think just knowing that you take your daughter's feelings seriously and that there's effort being put in will go a long way. By the way, do right by the rat and get it a buddy because they're extremely social animals and will get depressed and sad if they're alone. Update. Am I the idiot for telling my daughter that she should leave her pet rat at her mom's house? Yeah, well, as many here anticipated, this whole rat thing was planned on purpose. And I have to say it makes sense, since I never once had the impression that my daughter even liked rats. I was surprised at the birthday party. My girlfriend and I moved in together about 3 weeks ago, and the rat showed up about 10 days ago. I know this now because I've tried to text my daughter about other suggestions, like a second rat, a dog, etc. She's made up her mind. It is her or my girlfriend in the apartment. My son told me all of this. He said that my ex-wife and my daughter have been bashing my girlfriend and calling her a homewrecker. Anyway, my daughter can live with her mother for now because, legally speaking, children here can decide which parent they want to live with at her age. The plot twist is that my son expressed a desire to move in permanently with me instead, and I guess it's because of all the drama. My son hates conflicts and confrontations. Of course, my ex-wife is now bombarding my phone because she believes that I put my son up to this, because my son said that he'd start packing a bigger bag today if I agreed to him moving in permanently. He talked about visiting her instead of living there, and I agreed. This is escalating very fast, and I don't seem to have found the brakes to stop the madness. My suggestions made things worse. If it is relevant in any way, I didn't leave my ex. She left. One day she sat me down without forewarning and told me she wasn't happy anymore and wanted a divorce. Everything went fast afterward, and we were divorced 6 months later. It was never an affair or anything, but I think she liked someone, but it didn't work. After a few months, she said she regretted it and wanted to reconcile, but I didn't feel right about it. One thing was the finality of her decision, but most importantly, I wasn't in love with her anymore, so she suggested we date again. We were supposed to keep that a secret in case the spark didn't reignite and we would have built up hope in our kids for nothing, but she probably told them anyway. I started dating my now girlfriend around the same time, and I fell in love with her, and I ended things with my ex. The odd thing is that she cordially accepted my decision, but apparently she hasn't, and I'm reaping what we sowed now. God, it felt good to vent about it. Thanks. I've worked for my uncle's landscaping business for 6 years. Quite sadly, we lost my uncle this past January. Since his passing, I've been running his business. As his wife, my biological aunt, had no involvement with it or any idea as to how it was managed. I'm talking to clients, managing the books, ensuring people got paid, etc. Meanwhile, my aunt is nowhere to be seen. At the beginning of this month, I told my aunt that I was running her business, but really getting nothing in return for my effort. I told her that I wanted to become a partner in the business. As the one doing all the work, I should deserve a larger stake, and so my suggestion was 65-35. My aunt already had a very good paying job, so this would be passive income for her to enjoy while having to do absolutely nothing in return. Naturally, she's refused. She says I'm exploiting her situation and feels I should respect my uncle's wishes that their son take over the business. Meanwhile, their son is only 14 and has expressed no interest in running the company. Heck, he threw a tantrum at the suggestion of working a few weeks with me in the summer to learn some of the ropes. I offered to teach my aunt how to do the job, but she declined because of her existing job. I've also said that I will not train another person in the company to replace me, since such an arrangement would only harm me. This past weekend, I told my aunt that if she didn't agree to my terms, then I would leave her company this coming July. I haven't told her this, but I am considering starting a competing company, and I know that several of her employees and clients would follow me. Since laying out an ultimatum, my phone has been blowing up. My aunt has called me every name in the book, accused me of crapping on my uncle's legacy, and has been very clear that she'd fire me if she could. Other family members are also upset. My grandparents have outright told me that I'm exploiting the dead, and my mom feels like I should leave my aunt with her company and just ask for a raise for my extra work. Others have either remained neutral or suggested it's probably best for me to leave, find other work, and let her sort out her own situation. Am I the idiot here? Edit. I should have specified that my reasoning for 65% is because that would give me my existing income with about a 10% overall raise. I would walk away. Your aunt has made her feelings very clear to you. You are not a charity service for clueless old women. As to the other family members, they're irrelevant. They hassle you. Block them and/or change your number. Good luck to you, and not the idiot. My father had a business that he hoped would stay in the family. Still, he made alternate arrangements once he recognized that my sibling and I weren't interested in his field. It's a shame that your uncle passed on before he had that opportunity, but if he was a good man, I doubt he'd think the current arrangement is fair to you. That being said, your aunt may have poisoned the well already. Even if she agrees now, it may remain contentious, which will not be a pleasant experience for anybody. I'm sorry you're going through this, and I wish you luck with whatever happens. My ex-wife, 45, and I, 43 male, are in the process of divorce. We have 2 kids in high school. She started to hate me during the last year of my marriage, along with mood swings and just being crappy. The only thing I could think of at that time was that she was hormonal. She didn't like it when I told her she was being hormonal. She would get defensive. I told her to see a doctor, but she refused. I don't think she would have listened to me. I gave her an ultimatum to go to therapy and go see a doctor or we're done. She asked for a divorce. I didn't argue. I told her it was fine if that's what she wanted. She told me I'm a mediocre husband and she's better off alone. That actually definitely defines me. I am a mediocre husband. I'm not very good looking and I'm not a millionaire. I never cheated, so I guess I'm not a bad husband, just mediocre. She filed a divorce petition. Then, a few months later, she suddenly withdrew it and told me that she was having second thoughts. I filed the petition myself because I met a woman, 36, who was nice to me, and this shocked my system. I couldn't have gone back to my ex-wife after that. Turns out my ex-wife's sister convinced her to go see a doctor as she discussed her irregularities with her menstrual cycle with her. She was going through perimenopause, and she just started hormonal replacement therapy. She started dragging the process, so we've been going through a divorce forever. My girlfriend found out she's pregnant. I told her that I was a mediocre dude, and that's why my ex left me. She told me that she's also a mediocre woman, and she wants to raise a mediocre kid with me, to live in a mediocre house and live a mediocre life. So she's now my fiance and wife as soon as I get divorced. I thought news of her pregnancy would make my ex understand that our marriage ended, but she went crazy about it. She's now claiming I abandoned her when she needed me most, and that I'm a terrible person for having a kid when she's going through menopause. She left me first. Am I the idiot for having a kid when my ex-wife is going through menopause? She filed for divorce. Were you supposed to just crumple into a ball and not go on without her? You are not the idiot. When an ultimatum is issued, that's the last choice you get. She made her choice. Her regret is her problem, not yours. Congrats on your mediocre new family. Don't forget about your other kids. They're gonna need you. Slow your roll, dude. You can be there for your new baby without rushing into a new marriage. I used to work for a divorce mediation practice. Their general advice was that a divorce takes at least 3 years emotionally. 1 year to really realize the marriage is over. 1 year to get through the back and forth of the filing process and finalization. 1 year to work on yourself before you're ready to date again. People who had a fiance before the decree came through were known as repeat customers, very reliably. Yeah, I know a guy who's been married 4 times, and he's only 46. The first marriage was at 19. The last one was to a friend of mine, which is how I met him, and they were engaged the day after his 3rd divorce was finalized and married about a month later. They move stupid fast, and he's got a type, bat crap crazy. And yes, my friend is also bat crap crazy. Watching her interact with his crazy ex-wife, number 3, was interesting, to say the least. How do your older children feel about your new woman, new baby, new life, and divorcing their mom? Do you have them in counseling? In their eyes, you look like you tossed their mother aside and quickly started a new family with someone else. I mean, you do you, but I definitely didn't want to have a pregnant girlfriend while I was going through my divorce. My wife hates her name. I've always called her a bunch of pet names, but I've kind of settled on baby. I've said it so often that our kids, male toddler and female kindergartner, thought her real name was Baby. My dad's an old school military guy. He believes in the idea that children should be seen, not heard. It drives him crazy to hear my son, who's still a toddler, call my wife Baby. He and my mom invited us over for Thanksgiving. My family's Thanksgiving is an all-day thing, with brunch and traditional Thanksgiving dinner. My son said, "Baby, can you give me milk?" My dad sternly said, "You can't call your mother that. It's disrespectful." My son called her baby again, and then my dad snapped and started to scold my son, which caused both my kids to cry and my wife to take them to another room. I confronted my dad about upsetting my kids, and he said it was my fault for not setting boundaries. My mom chimed in to say that no real lady wants to be called baby, much less by her own kids. I told them to mind their own business and took my family home before anything was served. My parents called and said I ruined Thanksgiving and that my kids were upset for missing it because of my actions. Am I the idiot? Edit. Sometimes he uses mama, sometimes he uses baby. I call my wife baby a lot, so he picked up on that. Do I think it's weird? Yes. Is it any of my business? No. The only person with a valid opinion is your wife. If she's okay with it, then it's not the idiot. I personally hate the whole baby thing, but that doesn't mean I get to go around and say no one gets to use those terms ever. It took me way too long to realize my grandfather's name wasn't actually Honey. Funny enough, that's my name for my husband now. Congrats on breaking free from your upbringing. Dad is ludicrous. He thinks he has authority over what names you can let your kids use within your own family. He's also deluded if he thinks your kids are upset about being taken away from some guy who was yelling at them. Mom insulting your wife was just the cherry on top. Your dad is concerned about a bad habit that your baby took, which is actually cute, while he should be concerned about the image he's giving to his grandchildren. You should set firm boundaries to protect your wife and also your children from this kind of toxic behavior, especially for your daughter who's already a kindergartner and can clearly understand what's happening. Do you think it's good for her to see family mistreating her mom, her brother? Would you like your daughter to repeat this behavior or be a victim of it? I don't think so. So you know what to do for your family's sake. I will keep this as clear as possible. My daughter used to be married to Ryan. Ryan cheated on her and they divorced. During the divorce, my daughter learned she was pregnant. She told me she wouldn't tell Ryan, and I thought she was joking. The baby was born and she was telling everyone that Ryan abandoned the kid. I couldn't do it. Even if he was a bad partner, my grandkid deserved to have her father in her life, so I told Ryan, and he was angry, to be blunt. There was a huge court custody issue, and in the end, he got partial custody. My daughter went no contact due to me betraying her by telling Ryan. Since then, I haven't heard from my daughter. Ryan has been in contact with me, and he was really grateful that I informed him. My grandchild is now a preschooler, and he'll sometimes visit me during his custody time. I'm very happy to have a relationship with my grandchild and try to be a good grandma. I got a call from my daughter calling me an idiot, saying that if I had any respect for her, I would stay out of her kids' lives. Ryan informed me that legally she can't do crap about this situation. So the moral question is, am I an idiot for being in my grandchild's life, even if my daughter hates it? Yes, you are the idiot. Huge, you are the idiot. It's not your business or place to interfere in the first place. Wow, choosing sides with the cheating ex-spouse over your own child, not just in opinion, but in ways that cost her huge amounts of money, time, and heartache. Of course she'd go no contact with you. It's her child, not yours. You don't have any rights at all, and there is no business inserting yourself into this. So if you have to cozy up with a cheating ex to get your way, that's what's important, right? Not the idiot. Your daughter is a huge idiot. She kept the baby from him out of spite. That's completely messed up. You love your daughter, but you didn't want your grandchild to grow up without a dad. And now dad is allowing you to have a relationship with your grandchild. I don't think that makes you an idiot at all. Your daughter's very selfish and petty. And who the F is she to call you out for being disrespectful? All she has shown you is a complete lack of respect. Ryan deserved access to his kid. The kid deserved her father in her life. He's letting you access the child who deserves you in her life.